Alright, girl. Holy crap! Look at that! Oh, my camera was on. Jesus, Mother Mary of God. Did someone see that? Oh my God! Man, I got slick.
What is flopping, everybody? I'm getting all the gear unloaded, getting into the water. It's another day of tournament fishing. These are some of the fish that I've culled in so far. 48 pounds, 2 ounces, I believe is where we're at. I'm trying to reach a 50-pound goal, 50-pound bag, and I only have a couple more days to do so. But today I want to talk about a cool little thing that you can do with your kayak now. As you see right here, we have a power pole, 8-foot power pole. I have a power pole driver, and now I have a micro power pole lithium battery pack. Okay, so what you do is you just take this guy and you plug it right into the back of your power pole. Now your power pole is going to be good to go all day for at least 100 ups and downs. I've used this thing a few times, at least 3 times now, and it has not let me down. All we do is we take this power pole now, we come out here, and we've mounted the bracket. So all I had to do was cut this hatch. So now I have an extra little storage hatch in here so that I could get up underneath there and put some washers and stuff and bolt that down. So now we're just going to take and we're going to, don't want to drop that. We're going to take our power pole driver and we're going to put it together like so. We're going to find our little nut that we dropped there. That's probably $180 by itself if you have to replace it. We're going to put that on there, tighten this guy down. Now we got our power pole in there. We got our remote control. And then to make sure that it's good to go, we just double tap the up button. It comes up and it should reset. Boom, we're good to go. Now that micro anchor power pole battery pack is $199, but it means that you do not have to run wires through your kayak, cut any more holes other than mounting the actual power pole itself. So that's pretty cool that you can have a wireless power pole system on your kayak. Now the next thing I want to talk to you about is my trolling motor attachment. To get across the lake faster, and this thing works great. It works absolutely great. Let me move my little seat frame out of the way here so you guys can see. But all I've done here is take an old Minn Kota Riptide trolling motor, and I chose the Riptide because, well, 1, I had a Riptide, and 2, it does this. It doesn't just telescope, so that helps in this particular application. But you just take this guy, you come up here, and you get this Railblaza mount, right? Mounted 2 star ports. It's got 2 star port holes right here, and all I did to put these screws on was use a pair of long pliers and take these pole holders out and get up in there, put these star ports in there. Now those star ports are in there, right? They're good to go. I keep my trolling motor on the left hand side, so I just come out here, make sure that's unlocked, pop these guys in like that, locks it in, we're good to go, right? Well, not quite yet. You come down here, and there's this little thing that you put into the side of the kayak to help it from swaying side to side. So we put that in there. That's going to help it, give it some more, basically just gives it another point of contact is all it does. So now we got this trolling motor mount on there, and then we take our trolling motor and we connect it, slide right on, put it where you want it. and tighten it on down. Just like that. I have a battery. It goes under the seat. Right now we're using just a marine battery. One single battery seems to last us all day, which is pretty good. That is how simple it is to put a trolling motor and a power pole on a kayak now. Of course, I don't have foot pedal control and all that stuff, and we're gonna go out here and I'm gonna show you kind of how it works. And then you got to get used to using it this way. Of course, like anything else, you just got to get used to your equipment. But once you do, man, you're good to go. You have a micro power pole and you have a trolling motor to get you from point A to point B faster. So I'm gonna get this stuff unloaded. We're gonna try to catch some fish. We're trying to cull out a fish that's 5 pounds 6 ounces. We need something larger than 5 pounds 6 ounces. That's the goal today, and you guys get to see the power pole in action. We'll see you on the water. You get out here, you still, you paddle to where you can drop your motor with no problems. It'll go through all this stuff. Once you get it down and get used to it and learn how to operate it, you'll be able to drive through all pads and stuff with it. But it's super easy. You get out here, then you can drop your power pole. Power pole stops us. Then we just reach over here. We turn this just a little bit to loosen her up. Make sure she'll clear. I should have taken this off, but I left it on there because I didn't want extra holes in there. But make sure it'll clear that. And you just drop her on down. It helps if you don't use this pole holder, but I still do. And then you got a trolling motor, but our power pole's still up. So we pull the power pole. Power pole goes all the way back up. It locks itself where it needs to lock, and we're trolling. We're trolling. We can get to our spot a lot faster. Now this is at 3 or 4. But once you get up to 5, once you get your speed going, you can get up to about 4 or 5 miles an hour. See, we're cruising now. We're cruising. We're cruising, and we just got this little trolling motor set up, and now we got a power pole. So we can get from point A to point B on the lake faster to fish more and not be paddling in between. That's the key to this. It's also helped me land some fish, having a motor, having a trolling motor be able to kick on real quick and go get that fish that's on that pad or whatever, I'm gonna slow down a little bit, stop making so much noise. The main bite time is like basically right now. We still got a lot of wind, but the wind seems to be pushing this way, so I'm gonna go over here and we're gonna start on this side. For a simple $149 trolling motor mount, then you buy you a used trolling motor. Like I say, I chose this one because it goes up and down, and I can slide it past my seat here if I need to. You take the shaft and you pull the head off the shaft and you cut off however long you need to get it to where it's just short enough, or excuse me, just long enough for your trolling motor to be under the water on your kayak and not hit your kayak when you turn. That's all you need. Mine's at 26 inches. I believe if you were to buy one for a kayak, they come standard at like 24 inches or something like that. But then I still have this little collar here that I can put on and adjust and get that last 2 inches back out of it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a little fishing. Let's talk about what I use when I come out here, like tournament fishing, when I need to, or a new body of water, whatever it may be. There's a little bass right there. So my main setup, I'm gonna have an easy plopper, I'm gonna have a swim jig, and I'm gonna have a jerk bait, and then on my last pole, on the jerk bait pole, I'm gonna alternate that from trick worms, jerk baits, anything that I want weightless. And then on my last pole, that's when I'll use a spinner bait, anything. I just use that last pole to switch things out. My main setup searching is going to be in open water. I'm going to use well, let's do these pads first. So when I'm throwing this easy plopper, I can throw this plopper and I can watch on either side of the plopper for action, whether it's something moving, something getting spooked going the other direction, goes for the bait, misses, whatever. Now if he goes for the bait and misses, I might throw that easy plopper back, I might not. I'll probably follow it with a swim jig. I always feel more comfortable when a fish hits a swim jig. I'm way more comfortable knowing that I can catch that fish if he bites a swim jig. I know he's not gonna, well, he may get off, but he's got a way better chance of getting off on a straight shanked hook than he does for my swim jig. My swim jig just, I mean, it just seems to put in work, man. It consistently catches fish. It consistently catches big fish. That's why I use it. I go through areas like this where all this high grass and all this stuff, and I'll just throw this swim jig through there. Nothing goes through that stuff quite like a swim jig. Even a Texas rigged worm gets hung in that grass and stuff, gets on your bullet weight, all that jazz, a lot more than a swim jig. I don't know why, but a swim jig just goes through some shit. That's a good hard bottom spot right there. Look at that. And I just swim that swim jig through there, making sure there's no grass and stuff, giving it some pops every now and again, burning it for a second, and then I'll slow it down. And I'll watch and see what follows me in. If nothing follows me in, I'll just keep on moving. But this high grass and stuff like this, man, it holds big fish. You would never think so, but there's big fish like this. See, there's a hard bottom spot right here and all this high grass. So I just like to take a swim jig and throw it through there. See, look, the fish just took off from right there. But did he see our swim jig? It just looks like an awesome little fish swimming through there, like a clumsy little brim or something trying to figure its way out where it's going, you know. That's it. But there'll be many times that I'll see something, see some action come out of something with that easy plopper, something like that, and I'll follow it with that swim jig, and man, they'll just nail that swim jig. They'll nail that swim jig. And I just feel better when I hook something with a swim jig. I feel like I'm gonna get him in the boat 50% more than if I hook him with something else. But the constant bumping, that helps it not hold any grass and stuff like that on there. But the swim jig just, it goes through stuff real good, and it maintains a profile that's large enough for big fish to get excited about, but small enough that you can really, you know, use it in a bunch of different ways. I got that wind blowing us back. That was a good sized fish. Well, like I was saying, that swim jig swimming through there, when you got weeds and stuff blocking your swim jig, what it looks like, it just looks more like just a little fish swimming through there. Now this guy's gonna be a chunk when he gets big. He's gonna be a big fish when he gets old. You just know he is. But we got one in the boat already. He's I don't know, probably close to 2 pounds or so. I'll see you later, bud. See you later. Definitely not what we need on the board. We need some big fish on the board, but it was still fun. It was he hit it real hard. Hit it real hard. Well, guys, it doesn't look like we're gonna do that good today. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the cameras down. Thanks for coming out and fishing with me today and seeing the awesome new setup that we got going on here in a trolling motor situation, as well as a power pole, a micro power pole. And like I said, I did all of this without running any wires or cutting any holes whatsoever in my kayak, except for the mounting bracket for the power pole. So for the power pole mounting bracket holes, and then you have the holes for the starport mounts that you put in to be able to get your hand. In my particular kayak, I didn't have a hatch in the back. If you do, congratulations to you. You can already get your hand up in the back to put some nice big washers on there to hold that plate on there, because you see when you put the power pole down,
and I have the anchor set all the way down low. It does jack the ass into the kayak a little bit. Sometimes it's a little uncomfortable, so I hit the up button just a hair, and it still usually holds you in the same spot. It just doesn't give you, it kind of takes that angle off of you a little bit. But all in all, Power Pole Trolling Motor Edition is going to be awesome when it comes to fishing these tournaments, as well as just normally what we normally do and chasing big fish. There's a nice size little roll right over there. Don't forget to hit those buttons, guys. We'll see you next week. Keep them wet.